Your life begins to transform the moment you choose to think differently. And this, right here, could be that moment. This is Mindshift with Gitanjali, the space where you shift your mindset, rise above limitations, and reframe your reality. I'm Gitanjali, mindset coach, author, and your companion on this journey to rediscover the power that's already within you. Let's begin. Let's look at the 4 P's as we do in every episode. The problem. You know that voice that whispers, "You're not good enough." It's exhausting and it's lying. The promise. In this episode, you learn how to turn that inner critic into your inner coach. Proof. I've used this 3-step reframe with clients who went from self-doubt to self-trust in weeks. What's the plan? First, we'll uncover where the critic comes from. Then I'll walk you through the name it, ask it, answer it method, and finally a visualization to quiet that voice for good. I want to take a moment to look back at where we left off. In episode 3, we talked about self-awareness, how the stories, habits, and patterns we live by quietly shape our lives. Have you noticed anything since then? Maybe a thought loop that keeps replaying? A moment when you reacted the same way you always do? Or perhaps that gentle pause where you caught yourself and said, "Wait, I've seen this before." That moment, that pause, was awareness in action, and awareness is where every transformation begins. Today, we're going one level deeper because once you start noticing your patterns, you'll begin to hear the voice that lives beneath them, the one quietly narrating your every move. It's that familiar voice that says, "You're not enough. You should have done better." Or sometimes, "Maybe you don't have what it takes yet." Yes, we're talking about the inner critic. If that voice has ever held you back, today's episode is for you. Because by the end of this conversation, you know how to meet that voice with understanding, how to reframe it with compassion, and how to turn it into your greatest teacher. Let's start with something honest. Your inner critic is not your enemy. It's a frightened, protective part of you that learned to keep you safe a long time ago. Maybe you grew up in a home where making mistakes came with criticism or tension, where being wrong didn't feel safe. And you learned to double check yourself before anyone else could. Where getting things wrong meant disapproval or shame. Maybe love and praise only came when you achieved something, when you were perfect, productive, or pleasing. Or maybe we were taught to stay quiet, to keep the peace, to not make waves. So your mind built a strategy. If I can catch my mistakes before anyone else does, I'll be safe. That's how the inner critic was born, as your inner bodyguard, trying to protect you from rejection, judgment, or failure. But sometimes along the way, that voice forgot its true purpose. What began as protection slowly became a limitation. Instead of keeping you safe, it started keeping you small. The beautiful truth is, you can retrain it. You can teach that inner voice that growth doesn't need punishment, that it needs partnership. For years, my inner critic had one favorite line: "You will always be unwell. This is just who you are now." It was a sentence I believed for a long time. It felt like fog, heavy and suffocating. That voice made me question everything I did. It made me afraid to hope, afraid to dream, afraid to change. But one day, something shifted. Instead of running from that voice, I sat with it. I listened. And what I discovered changed everything. That voice wasn't there to destroy me, it was there to protect me, to shield me from disappointment, from heartbreak, from the pain of false hope. When it said, "Don't get your hopes up," what it really meant was, "I just don't want you to be hurt again." That realization shifted everything. The inner critic isn't the truth, it's simply fear dressed up as logic. So I began meeting that voice differently, not as an enemy to silence, but as a frightened part of me that needed comfort, not correction. And that's where the real transformation began, not by fighting the voice, but by reframing it. Let's look at the science behind it. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Your brain's job is to keep you safe, not to keep you happy. That's why it's wired to notice what's wrong before what's right. It's called the negativity bias. When your inner critic speaks, it's activating the amygdala, your brain's fear center, sending signals like, "This might go wrong," or "You might fail." But here's where science gives us hope. Your brain can change. It can be rewired. This is called neuroplasticity. Every time you interrupt a negative thought and choose a kinder, truer one, you're building a new neural pathway. You're literally rewiring your brain towards self-trust. Each new thought is like laying a fresh stepping stone toward confidence and calm. Let me introduce you to Rita. She was successful on the outside, but exhausted on the inside. Her mind never stopped telling her she wasn't doing enough. When a project didn't go perfectly, that voice would say, "You should have done better. You should have known better. Everyone can see you failed." Rita's inner critic wasn't cruel, it was afraid. As a child, she learned that mistakes brought criticism. So her brain made a rule: if I'm perfect, I'm safe. Here's her loop. Trigger: a small mistake. Response: self-criticism and overworking. Reward: temporary relief. When we began working together, she didn't try to erase that voice. She simply noticed it and observed it and said, "There's my inner critic again, trying to keep me safe." That single sentence changed everything. Over time, her new loop became trigger, mistake, response, self-kindness, reward, peace, identity. I'm allowed to be human. Rita didn't silence her inner critic, she rewired it. And that's how you begin too. not by fighting the voice, but by understanding what it needs most: safety. Let's make this practical for you. Here's one of my favorite ways to work with the inner critic, a simple 3-step practice I call Name It, Ask It, Answer It. Yes, that was our plan, which we spoke about in the beginning of the podcast. Step 1. Name it. When that critical voice appears, give it a name. Maybe it's the doubter, old tape, or Miss Perfect. Naming it helps you separate the voice from your identity. So instead of saying I'm not enough, you can say, oh, that's the doubter speaking. You've already created space. Step 2. Ask it. Don't push the voice away. Ask, what are you trying to protect me from? Often the answer is fear. Fear of rejection, of failure, or of being seen. Asking turns judgment into curiosity, and curiosity begins to heal. Step 3. Answer it. Respond gently but firmly. Say, I know you're trying to help me, but I'm safe now. I'm learning and I choose to grow. Each time you do this, the critic softens, the voice quiets, and the part of you that leads with compassion begins to take the wheel. Let's start with the visualization practice, where we'll meet your inner critic with compassion. Before we begin, let's talk about what visualization really is. Visualization is simply using your imagination, but with purpose. It's when you close your eyes and picture a scene, a feeling, or a version of yourself you want to create. And when you imagine it clearly, not just see it, but feel it, your brain starts to believe it's real. It begins to form new pathways that support that experience in your actual life. So, in this short practice, we're going to visualize your inner critic, not to fight it, but to meet it differently, to soften the way it speaks to you, and to help you create a new relationship with. If it feels comfortable and safe, gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently. Now imagine standing in a calm, open space, somewhere peaceful where you feel safe and at ease. Maybe it's a quiet beach, a soft morning garden, or just a warm light surrounding you. In front of you, see your inner critic begin to take shape. It might look like a shadow, a voice in the air, or even a younger version of you, the part that learned to stay small to feel safe. Take another deep breath in, and when you're ready, step a little closer. Say to this voice softly from your heart, thank you for trying to protect me. I know you've worked hard to keep me safe, but I'm ready to grow now. You can rest. I've got this. Now imagine a soft golden light surrounding both of you. You and that voice. The light feels gentle, like compassion itself. It wraps around you both, and you notice the voice beginning to soften, to quiet, as if it finally feels safe to rest. Take one more deep breath. Feel your shoulders relax, your chest open. You are calm, you are clear, you are in charge of the voice now, not the other way around. This is the essence of visualization, rehearsing in your mind the emotional state you want to live in. So your brain learns what safety, self-kindness, and self-trust feel like. And over time, that becomes your new default way of being. Let's repeat a few affirmations together to anchor your shift. I am not my thoughts. I can honor my fears without being ruled by them. I am safe, capable, and growing. I trust my pace. I trust myself. Let's repeat that again. I am not my thoughts. I can honor my fears without being ruled by them. I am safe, capable, and growing. I trust my pace. I trust myself. Each repetition rewires your mind toward trust and inner strength. So, in closing reflection, let's look at your inner critic isn't your enemy, it's a messenger. When you meet it with curiosity and kindness, you transform fear into wisdom. So this week, practice, name it, ask it, answer it. Listen to your inner voice, then respond as your wise self would. You're not silencing your critic, you're teaching it a new language of self-trust. I can't wait to see where your journey takes you next. Join me in episode 5, where we'll explore how to turn self-talk into self-trust, the next step in building an unshakable inner foundation. Thank you for joining me today on Mindshift with Gitanjali. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message and subscribe for next week's episode. Every moment of awareness you create today builds the reality you live tomorrow. Keep rising, keep shifting, keep reframing, and keep becoming who you're meant to be. Rise, shift, reframe, become.